And Morris, I know you don't like accolades. I know you're not an accolade guy, but
I
this is
don't
what I'm saying.
understand how you despise accolades though, Mars. Like I
Exactly.
don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, what are you playing this? What are you playing the sport for? Nobody plays the sport for stats, bro. They play for the accolade.
I don't care about the box score either, but this is a whole different tangent. But if I'm talking about how good you are at basketball, an accolade is never going to be brought up. It doesn't prove anything at all. If you can make a whole argument for a player based and rank them, and you don't have to watch a second of them play, you can just read their accolades and read their stats on Basketball Reference. Why would I care? Like the amount of people who have
confused.
lists, and it's based on nothing.
I don't know how they don't like
because they don't make you better. They don't make you better. Would Steph have been a better player if he won the 2015 Finals MVP? No, he's the same guy. He just didn't get the accolade. Doesn't make him better at all.
That doesn't
There's
really.
not one contribution that would make him better.
I feel like I understand that you kind of going against the grain and you feel like you're thinking like higher about this than everybody else. But bro, like, no offense, like I just don't agree. Like I don't understand. I get what you're saying, but only up to a degree because accolades do define players' careers. Like, they do, and to sit here and act like they don't is to me a little ridiculous. Now, do I get your point that sometimes they get it wrong? Because, for example, Marc Gasol, when he won DPOY, but he was second team all defense, that didn't really make too much sense to people. That shit happens. I'm not saying every accolade given out is spot on, but bro, to sit here and discredit people's accolades because they don't, to you, that's not a metric to making them better. That really doesn't make any sense because the way every player in sports history goes into the league, into their sport, is to have those accolades to define their legacy. Like you can't define a legacy without it.
But that's all perception now. What you're talking about is all perception.
It's not
the way
perception.
That people, it is perception as a point of view. We're seeing that somebody's winning all these rings, and now we're like, dag, he won all these rings. It makes me feel the type of way. But in the way that they played basketball, it didn't change. The way
hold
that
on. Hold on, Ron, hold on. Hold on. It's about to get spicy. It's about to get spicy. Football Breakdown sent a super chat. If accolades don't matter, you can't have MJ over Braun.
That's dumb, but okay.
Why?
Because you can easily make an argument that MJ is better at basketball than LeBron. Like, easily. But if you believe that, you're probably going to go to another thing I hate, which is quoting off the box score, more rebounds, more assists, more career points. It's the same thing I hate. The same thing with accolades. I hate both of them.
So how do you determine one player being better than the other?
Because I think you can judge a player's impact on the game. You can judge their skill set and how that would impact teams. You can.
But if there's no impact, well, let's stick with impact.
You can judge impact without winning rings.
That's
fine. There's perception. I agree. You can judge impact without winning rings. People say players are more impactful because they won. That's just not true. It's just a basic way of looking at things. You look at the outcome of something. This team won a ring. This team didn't win a ring. Therefore, this player is more impactful than this player. That's not true. There's situations.
Play the game
you
just
look at
so wait.
I agree. You play the game to win. I'm the same person that I'm taking Robert Horry's career over MJ. I'm 100% aware of that. You play the game to win. I'm also aware that I say I'm taking someone's career with more rings over someone else's. It doesn't make you better. That's my whole argument. I agree that I played the game to win. I call these guys losers all the time. It doesn't make you worse at basketball. That's my whole point. I agree that you should play the game to win. You should play the game to try get those accolades, those rings. Because I would do the exact same thing. But if I'm arguing who's better at basketball, there's no reason for me to say this player has 2 MVPs, a defensive player of the year. Let me talk about their game, but that's something a lot of people don't do.
It's a combination of both, though.
Yeah. Some of it's fortune. Like, for example, Kevin Garnett in Minnesota that's the best he's ever been. He won the ring in Boston. He got put in a better situation. The best he was in Minnesota. He just didn't have the situation around him that could get him a title. I don't think he was worse because of that. The way I look at it, you can have skill sets and skills that impact winning without winning a title. For example, a player who has a higher impact on winning with no titles is, for me, like a Chris Paul, a Steve Nash, Jason Kidd in his peak. They were all high impact players. They didn't win titles, but I can still look at your game, look at how great of your passer you are, great of a playmaker. For Chris Paul and Steve Nash, efficient scorers, the way your game can translate to a better situation.
What efficient is stats? You said we're ignoring stats.
No, I ignore the box score, the way people quote it with 27, 7 and 7, or Luka Doncic 28, 8 and 8. That means nothing. You're not saying anything about their game. Efficiency, you can talk about someone's efficiency and be like, this player is efficient. You look at their true shooting percentage relative to the rest of the league, you can see they were efficient. You see someone averaging 28 points a game, it doesn't mean you were a better scorer than someone averaging 25. That's why I don't care about these box score stats. That's my whole issue.
I mean, I agree with that to a degree. I got lit up on fucking Instagram yesterday, thanks to the editor,
because of the Jamal Crawford and scoring thing. Was it that?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad example that I said, but I mean, they missed the point, and so they just ran off with that. But whatever.
Fire.
Greater said, "How can I look at their game but not the box score or accolades?" But then you call me a stat guy. Like, which one am I? Am I not looking at the box score, or am I a stat guy? Like,
I just personally feel like ultimately, Mars, like when you say accolades don't matter, the only thing that I personally can't get behind is, yes, you're right. Like, do I think certain players can be better based off what their skill set is? That's true. Like maybe somebody's taller, a better jump shooter, things of this nature, so that makes them a better basketball player. But I do think when this idea that greatness in terms of like impact and skill set don't coexist with each other. And I personally think, like, for example, if I play point guard and you play point guard, you can shoot better than me, you're taller than me, you might be a better defender. But every time we play, me and my team wins because I run an offense better than you. And I lead the league in steals, or I don't have as many MVPs, but ultimately I'm always beating you. Yeah, you're a better talent than me for sure, but I do think your impact on winning and those accolades do also define you of who's a better player. Like, I just think to take that away, I don't think that's fair, because winning ultimately is how we decide in relative who's better. Like, that's how we decide, okay, I think this person is better because in their career they've done this, and this.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.